Hey guys, we're down here at Verity Lane with the Lakespeare players, and man, it's been a fun show tonight. I don't think I've had so much fun in a Shakespeare ever. What is your guys' secret to what you guys do?
I think a big approach that we took in rehearsing this particular production was trying to make it accessible to a modern day audience, not being too purist with the text, but also respecting it and kind of finding what is funny in the text, but what is funny outside of it, and kind of trying to find a nice balance between those two, because you can find in a lot of productions you'll kind of go one way or the other. I think we tried to find a nice balance between not too modern and not too purist.
And I think that worked really, really well. I've got to say, as I sat there in the audience tonight, I really felt it was accessible, like every moment, and you used every single moment as well to communicate so very, very well. And I didn't realise how malleable Shakespeare actually is.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're doing it in all these different, incredibly different spaces as well. We've gone from, Patrick White Lawns with 2,500 people to this intimate pub venue. And so you find different things every single time you perform. And you can play. And that's the key. Just play, play, play. Play with each other, play with the audience. And it's lots of fun.
It certainly was a lot of fun, and it is such a unique venue. This doing something like this in a pub, it's very, very different. Was there anything that needed to change to accommodate a venue like this?
I think the best thing about the pub shows is that everything changes. We spend, lots and lots of time in the lead up rehearsing and making sure that we've got our entrances and our exits and our costumes and our characters and our props, and then we get to the pub show and we kind of just throw it all away and we see what magic happens. And I feel like every night magic happens, because it becomes about the actor and the audience then, without anything in between, and we find new and exciting things every time.
I've been watching the journey of Lakespeare over these years, and it's such a wonderful thing to bring to the community, because Shakespeare, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to access it. So to be able to go to these free events, or to these ones which are incredibly affordable, and then you can get yourself a good dinner as well, is absolutely great. Is there anything you guys want your audiences to take away in particular when they see a show?
To keep it brief, for me, every time I perform in Shakespeare, every time I tackle Shakespeare, it's that I want audiences to understand that it is truly for everyone. There is something to be found in Shakespeare for everyone. While they are very old plays, while sometimes the text can be a bit hard to approach, they are genuinely universal, and we've all felt love and loss and ambition and greed and guilt. So yeah, just that it's for everyone, for me. Yeah.
And I noticed that Lakespeare and Shakespeare, they tend to attract the best in Canberra, like the best actors we've got around. Why is that? Why are the best actors, the most experienced actors we've got, why are they drawn to this sort of work?
For me, it's what the language unlocks in me and my imagination. Even though the language can be quite hard to understand sometimes, the images it conjures just releases something in you and takes you somewhere that ordinary language just doesn't quite. It gets there sometimes, but not in the same way. And I think for an actor, that's the most exciting thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It sparks your imagination in a way that, contemporary scripts might not. Yeah.
And I particularly loved how you guys played with it. You played with the language, you played with the meaning, you played with the audience as part of all of that, and everyone had a really, really good time. So I've got to say, if you haven't had a chance to see Lakespeare, whether it's on a lake or in a pub, definitely worth getting along, and a really great introduction. There were quite a few kids here tonight who had never seen Shakespeare before, and they just loved it.
And they stayed. And they stayed awake.
There was one young fella who came up to me after the show and said, that was his mum told me it was his first Shakespeare ever, and it was just, and that he absolutely loved it, which is just a joy. Every time you bring Shakespeare to a new audience, because it's easy to forget, being, actors and being involved in it as much as you are, that there's always going to be someone in the audience, be it a contemporary play or a Shakespeare play, that is seeing theatre or that play for the very first time, even if you've read it 100 times.
Yeah, absolutely. So the show's got 2 more weeks to run. Can you tell us where? Well, I think there's a lot of different locations, so definitely check out the website. But just give us a brief overview of the different places it's going to be at.
That's you.
One of the most exciting venues that we're going to be at this time around is Poacher's Pantry. We're doing a fabulous 3-course meal there at the Vineyard, and so it'll be dinner and a show, and it's going to be so spectacular. We've also got a show at Canberra. Got a couple of shows at Canberra actually at ANU. Hopefully in the amphitheatre if we don't get rained out, but that is, you know, the nature of outdoor shows. We sort of adapt and try and do what we can. And we've got one more night here at Verity Lane Market on the 5th of March. So yeah, got a few more shows, a few more different spaces to feel out, and yeah, get inventive in.
That is fantastic, and here at Verity Market it worked really, really well. So if you have the opportunity, and if it isn't booked out, do get along to see it. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and thank you so much for the incredible performance. All the best with the run of the show.
Thank you very much.
Guys, we will catch you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.